Hey everyone, I watched a little bit of preseason football last weekend. Watched the Packers at Denver Broncos and the Steelers at Minnesota Vikings, and had a few thoughts. Just thought I'd come on and share them real quick. First, the Vikings. The defense looks good. Steelers were getting a little bit of a running game going against Minnesota, and I still think Willie Parker is a very good running back. Some people say because he broke his leg last year that he's not going to be as fast as he used to be, and that's pretty much his whole game is speed. But, you know, he looked good, and I don't think that's Minnesota's fault. Still going to be a very good team against the run this year. The pass rush looked nice. Got at least 2 sacks that I saw on Roethlisberger. Although Big Ben did have one really nice moment, got to give him credit, where Kevin Williams was coming at him from one side and Jared Allen from the other, and Ben just stepped forward, and Williams and Allen collided. And Allen is a very good player, but when he ran into Kevin Williams, I think he found out, as the commentator also mentioned, that running into Kevin Williams is no fun. So that was kind of a laughable moment. I was a little nervous until both players were fine, and so no big deal. Yeah, so run defense was good, pass rush was good. I liked the play by the secondary, and I liked the play by the linebackers, honestly. I saw E.J. Henderson getting in there for a lot of tackles. He's probably going to be the leading tackler again this year. And, you know, defense just looked solid. The offense also looked good. The running game did not get off to a very effective start, and I feel like the Steelers' defense is very good. I feel like they might be slightly under the radar, but I would call them the 3rd or 4th best defense in the NFL this year. Probably not 3rd. I'd have to put San Diego and Minnesota ahead of them, and then probably New England. Chicago also has a very mean defense when healthy. Same with Baltimore. Same with the Giants. But Pittsburgh is up there. I mean, they are right up there. And so, you know, it's hard to move the ball against a team like that. But running game took a little time and found success later. Adrian Peterson had a nice touchdown run right up the middle, short yardage. And that's the kind of stuff that, as a Vikings fan, I hope to see out of Peterson this year. And the passing game, Gus Frerotte looks good. I was a little nervous about having him as a backup, but not as much as most people from what I'm hearing. I think Ferrotte's a good player, and he just looked bad on a bad St. Louis team last year. You know, that team made Mark Bolger look bad. But Frerotte looked very sharp. He was making good decisions. He had a lot of velocity on the balls he was throwing. Big arms still. And I just liked what I saw. He threw one pretty stupid-looking interception, and I don't know what exactly happened there, but other than that, man, he looked very sharp, and I was encouraged by that. One other thing from the Vikings I was also encouraged about was the play by the tight end Visanthe Shenko. His 2nd year with the Vikings. Minnesota signed him to what I thought might have been too big a contract, and then I was reinforced with that belief by his play last year. You know, he's a decent enough player on paper, but he was dropping passes, very important passes, 2 or 3 of them almost certainly going to be touchdowns. And you know, you just can't have that out of a tight end that you pay good money. Also, I think Tavares Jackson needs a reliable catching tight end to help his development. Minnesota's needed that since Jermaine Wiggins left the team. And I would argue since a couple years before, when Wiggins became really less effective than he had been earlier in his career. Yeah, so encouraging things on the Vikings front. Again, like I also said, I watched the Packers-Broncos game, and Rodgers looked good. He looked cool and calm, which is good. He was making plays happen very quickly, but I also strongly suspect that the first drive, or maybe the first two drives, were heavily scripted and involved throwing to the player that would normally be second or third or fourth on a check down list without really going through the check down. And the reason I suspect this is because, he'd take a two-step drop and instantly throw the ball to the slot receiver running a slant. And, usually when you throw to a receiver there, either it's later because you decided that your first two options were not good decisions, or it's because the play was designed to go, for a very short game, and that was the first place you look. And so it seems to me that's what he was doing. They looked kind of like a dink and dunk passing offense in that first drive or two. But overall, he played well. He did get sacked at least once by a not stupendous Denver Broncos defense. But to be fair, the Broncos do have one very good defensive end, Elvis Dumerville. So, take that for what it's worth. And also, to be fair, the Packers' offensive line, I know that the players at the guard position, it's kind of in the air as to who they're going to put there and how that's going to work out. There's some youth and inexperience. And that offensive line looks good, very good run blocking, but with the pass defense, it seemed like they were letting people through every once in a while. So, that's something for Packers fans to look out for. What else? Packers running game looks good. Again, I think part of that is the good run blocking by the offensive line, and another part of that is that the Broncos are just terrible against the run. They were last year, and I don't expect it to be better this year. Something else I noticed is Rodgers looked eerily like Jake Plummer one play. It was a designed bootleg, and he takes the ball and curves around and runs and throws on the move. And I know a lot of quarterbacks run the occasional bootleg, but he just moved and threw, and it reminded me of Jake Plummer quite a bit. And I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. It depends on how you feel about Jake Plummer. I'm kind of neutral on the guy. I thought he received more criticism than he should have, and the Broncos won a lot of games with him. So, for whatever that is worth, Rodgers looks like Jake Plummer. A little bit, anyway. I'm looking forward to September 8th, and I really hope it's not Gus Frerotte under center for the Vikings, because the Packers need to play Tavares Jackson and vice versa. It's got to happen sometime, and I think it's going to happen week 1 this year. So it should be a very good game. I am optimistic about the Vikings' chances of a victory in that game. And that's where I stand. It was exciting to watch the third preseason game for both teams. I am ready for the regular season, so hurry up, NFL, bring it on. See ya.